Winnipeg, no sleepwalking, no voice-raising pep talks, and no hanging on for dear life. This was a much tidier effort for the Winnipeg Jets, who quite simply got the job done in a 4-2 victory over the Montreal Canadiens on Monday that completed a 2-game road swing. Unlike Sunday's 4-3 nail-biter over the Ottawa Senators, this was more of a complete game for the Jets, one that featured sound goaltending from Connor Hellebuyck, who started on consecutive days for the 4th time this season as he made his league-leading 62nd appearance. Hellebuyck cemented his workhorse status a long time ago, and as long as the Jets are clinging to their playoff hopes, no matter how slim they might be, you can expect him to receive the bulk of the action here, even as the team is in the midst of what is supposed to be a stretch of 5 games over 7 days with a solitary home game stuffed between 2 back-to-backs to the East Coast with limited travel. Hellebuyck was not nearly as busy as he'd been one night early, but he once again stood tall on a night where Sam Montembeault threatened to become the latest unheralded goalie to frustrate and ultimately handcuff the Jets. But instead of abandoning their structure or cheating for offense, the Jets dug in and found a way, despite playing without captain Blake Wheeler and productive center Mark Scheifele. The absence of Scheifele meant a promotion for forward Morgan Barron, who was one of the pieces acquired from the New York Rangers in the trade line deal for Andrew Kopp. Barron had been used primarily on the 4th line since joining the Jets, outside of a few bump-up shifts, but he took full advantage of this chance to move up with Nikolai Ehlers and Paul Stastny, who moved back into his natural position of center. In a limited sample size, Barron has shown a willingness to get to the net and an ability to move well and get engaged physically. On Monday, he was able to showcase a bit more of his offensive game, burying a drop pass from Ehlers for his 2nd NHL goal and setting up Stastny for his 20th goal of the season. For Stastny, it was the 6th time in his 15-year career that he's reached the 20-goal plateau, but the first since 2013-14, when he was a member of the Colorado Avalanche. "I figured it would be a good opportunity for me to show that I can play up the lineup," said Barron, who appeared in 18 games with the Rangers over the past 2 seasons after completing his collegiate career at Cornell University. "Even just to get this run, I think this is the most consecutive games that I've played in the NHL now since being called up. That's kind of been my goal ever since camp this year, to earn a spot on a roster. I know there's still some work to do and it's an ongoing thing, day to day, but I've been happy with the way things have worked out for me so far, and I just want to keep it rolling as best I can." Barron, 23, did an excellent job of using his strengths and smarts, while taking a simplistic approach. That allowed Barron to fit right in and have success with the Healers and Stastny, even in a role that had been previously available with either the Jets or the Rangers. "Those guys talk so much on the ice, they make it easy for someone like myself coming in to play with them," said Barron. "Honestly, since being in the lineup I've felt like I've done some good things, and there's just been times when I haven't necessarily got rewarded on the score sheet. But I've been building confidence ever since the trade, really. Starting in the American League, I just feel I have been able to get better and better each game, so I just want to keep doing that. The progression has been noticeable." This is not to suggest that Barron is likely to spend a ton of time in a top 6 role moving forward based on this extremely small sample size. This is the type of impression that can help bolster the cause for someone who is working to become an NHL regular next season. Barron projects as a guy who could be under consideration to play on the left side with Adam Lowry and Mason Appleton on a checking line that could contribute some offense, and it will be interesting to see if he's given some time to show what he can do on that trio during these final 8 games of the regular season. For the time being, Barron will simply do what he can to stack solid efforts on top of one another. Speaking of stacking solid efforts, defenseman Dylan Samberg made it 3 consecutive solid showings since he was recalled from the Manitoba Moose of the American Hockey League. Taking 20 shifts for 15-15 of ice time, Samberg moved the puck efficiently as he played with great composure. Not known as a big point producer, Samberg chipped in 2 more assists to give him 4 in 9 NHL games. For a guy who has endured all kinds of adversity on the injury front this season, from suffering a high ankle sprain on the opening day of training camp to a hand injury in late January after it looked like he was beginning to solidify his standing on the organizational depth chart, Samberg is doing everything he can to show he deserves to be among the 6 regulars on the defense corps. Not only does Samberg bring some size on the back end, he plays with some edge, which will serve him well no matter who his defense partner is moving forward. Samberg, 23, has looked good alongside Brendan Dillon after this most recent call-up, but he also had some strong games alongside Neil Pionk previously. What has become apparent is that the Jets are going to need to make room for Samberg as well as Ville Heinola, who was returned to the Moose when he was recalled. The Jets have gone from having a shortage on defense to a surplus, and that will create some difficult off-season decisions for general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, but you can file this development under the category of being a good problem to have. Samberg has earned a longer look, and would benefit from appearing in these remaining games to help prepare him for the fall. This is an important time in his development path, and the opportunity to pursue a Calder Cup title along with Heinola and Barron once the regular season is over will also serve Samberg well. With the win, the Jets improved to 35-28-11 and pulled within 5 points of the Dallas Stars in the chase for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Despite basically needing to run the table to remain mathematically alive, the Jets are doing what they can to finish strong, and they've now collected points in 3 consecutive games as they prepare to host the Seattle Kraken on Wednesday in Winnipeg, provided a blizzard that could bring between 30 and 50 centimeters of snow doesn't intervene. "We're just trying to win games, get 2 points, 1 point, whatever you can do, and hope to get some help from other teams," said Jets defenseman Josh Morrissey. "But I don't think we really talk about anything bigger than the next game. You can't really look too far in the future. We know where we're at. It's more about playing the right way,